Welcome, everyone. This is the Wednesday edition, January 26th of 2022. This is the NCAA Basketball Daily Dime Show, powered by the Predictive Playbook platform and presented to you by SportsMemo TV. And I got you more than covered for tonight's NCAA Basketball card with my co-host, Rocky Atkinson, and Don Buster, and his friends always call him Buster. Guys, we're 4-1 in our two shows as a panel. That translates to 80%, I believe. And we're going to look to 3 games here, and hopefully we'll be able to go 2-1, or maybe a perfect 3-0 would be nice. So why don't we get right to it? And we're going to start with the Boston College is playing North Carolina. Boston College is 9th in the ACC. They're 8-10. North Carolina Tar Heels 6th in the ACC at 13-6, 8-11 against the number. Over/unders 10-8 with one push. At home, they are undefeated at 10-1. BC is coming off a horrible loss, 30-point loser to Wake Forest, 87-57 as a 10.5-point underdog. Over the last 10, 3-7, 4-6 against the number. Carolina's off a 10-point, 78-68 win over Virginia Tech, and covered as a -5-point home favorite. 6-4 straight up, 6-4 against the spread the last 10. Rocky, where do you see the betting advantage and opportunities in this matchup tonight?
Thank you, John. Well, I'm going to look at the North Carolina Tar Heels -13.5 here tonight. Like you said, they coming off a solid 78-68 win over Virginia Tech on Monday. Boston College off a blowout loss, losing 87-57 to Wake Forest. Boston College is 5-20 straight up on the road the past 3 years, including 1-7 straight up away from home this season. They're one of the basement teams in the ACC again this year. They're ranked number 305 in the nation in field goal percentage on defense, allowing 45.4 field goal percentage this year. They're ranked 332nd in the nation in three-point field goal percentage on defense, allowing 36.8%. On the other hand, North Carolina comes in 10-0 straight up at home this year. They're beating opponents by an average of 78.5 to 62.3. North Carolina has several weapons. They're led by Armando Bacot. He averages 16.8 points per game. He also leads them in rebounds this season. He's a force on the boards, 11.7 rebounds per game this season. Caleb Love, he averages 14.9 points per game. R.J. Davis, 13.5 points per game. Brady Manick has found the starting lineup after starting on the bench for most of the early going in the season, and he's averaging 13.1 points per game this season. A few trends here to consider. Boston College is 4-9-1 against the spread last 14 games after a straight-up loss of 20 points or more, and they were blown out in their previous game. Boston College is 2-7-1 against the spread of the last 10 road games. Boston College is 1-7 against the spread of the last 8 road games against a team with a winning home record. And North Carolina qualifies there undefeated at home, 10-0. And North Carolina is 5-0 against the spread of their last 5 home games. I think the Tar Heels need a solid performance here in front of their home crowd, and I think we'll get that tonight. We're going to play North Carolina -2 points on Wednesday evening.
Great breakdown, Rocky, as always. I'm joining you with that North Carolina bet. They could be -15, I think, against Boston College with that 30-point loss. It's hard for 18-year-old to 20-year-old kids to bounce back from a debilitating emotional loss. That's a beatdown. So I think North Carolina is definitely the right side here. Now we're going to move on to the Missouri Valley Conference with the Illinois State Redbirds. 6th in the MVC. They are 10-10 straight up for the season, 10-8 against the number, 12-6 over/under. They're hosting the Drake Bulldogs, who are 2nd in the Missouri Valley Conference at 14-6. They are only 4-13 though against the number, 10-7 over/under. They're 4-1 away, 10-3 as a favorite. The line for this game has Illinois State as a 3.5-point dog. Drake over/under is 145, so Drake comes into this as a road favorite of 3.5. Boy, oh boy, Buster, I have a funny feeling you're going with the Redbirds in this matchup.
Well, John, like always, thanks for having me. And yes, that line's actually climbed up to 4 in a lot of spots. So we have Illinois. We already bet Illinois State +4, and we think they're a live dog here. And this is what we like to do as well. It's a contrarian play. This line opened up Drake at 1.5, and they been betted up to 4. And we always like to be forever the contrarian on a lot of these games. But this is, as you had mentioned earlier, John, this is our third college basketball video. And I've used the same similar type of situation in both of the other college basketball games that I put out here for the free play video. And they were both winners. We look at a team that is like Drake, that are playing in their second road game. And if they won that first road game, which Drake did, they beat Northern Iowa in overtime, which is that we like that even a little bit more because now they've played in overtime. We will look at the home team as long as, again, they're getting the proper number. And we believe getting +4 at home with Illinois State, they are getting the proper number. Now, looking at Illinois State, they don't have the best of records, but this team, when they play at home, they play very well. They're 9-2 at home this year. When they play on the road, they're not the best, that's for sure. And I'm going to just give you a few examples of how this club plays so well at home compared to what they play on the road. This weekend, they played a home-and-home with Evansville. They beat Evansville at home by 38 points. They went to Evansville on Sunday, lost by 3. They've also played a very good Missouri State team. They lost Missouri State by 25 on the road. When Missouri State traveled to Illinois State beat them by 5. Well, it just so happens Illinois State went on the road and lost to Drake by 11 a couple of weeks ago. So I hope everyone sees where I'm going with this. So now I'm getting 4 points with Illinois State. And they're, as I said, a very good 9-2 home club. And in that game against Drake, the last game, they allowed Drake to shoot like an ungodly 56% from the field. That's not going to happen tonight. That's for sure. And another thing we like here with the home dog is that now Drake, they might be looking a little ahead here because they play number 1 of the Missouri Valley, Loyola, on Sunday. So, they've already beat this club. They're coming in here feeling pretty good about themselves with the overtime win. So lots to like with the home dog here. And of course, John, always have to have stats for you. So here's a bunch of stats that even back our selection here. The home team is 6-2 against the spread their last 8 games in this series. I want to emphasize that, in this series. So the home club is 6-2 against the spread. Illinois State themselves, they're 4-0 against the spread their last 4 home games. And this might be the kicker. Drake is a nasty 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 road games. Give me the live dog +4 points here, guys.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it, Buster. I'm ready to go to the window on both of your picks with North Carolina and the home underdog and a little sprinkle on the money line, perhaps.
You might, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a close game, but I mean, I'm getting 4 points here. Again, it's just we've been playing these situations. The last 2, actually, the underdog, if I believe right, they both won outright. So why not?
Sounds good to me. Now, my turn here with the Big 12 matchup. We're looking at Oklahoma taking on West Virginia, and they are traveling to West Virginia. That's at the West Virginia University Coliseum, set to tip at 8 o'clock tonight. The showdown features the Sooners, who are 9th in the Big 12. I have problems even saying 9th with Sooners in the same sentence. I'm so used to 1 or 2. But they are 12-7 and 9-10 against the number, 10-9 over under. They are 1-3 in road games. The Mountaineers enter this battle 13-5 for the season, 8-10 losing record against the spread, 9-9 over under. They are 10-1 at home and they are 12-1 as a favorite. The line is West Virginia -2, and the over under is 131 points. And I'm leaning towards the under, guys, in this matchup, and it's backed by a pretty powerful betting angle. You're going to play under with road teams in a game where the total's between 130 and 139.5. And the team being Oklahoma is a good free throw shooting team per the NCAA standards, making 73% or more of their free throw attempts, and going up against what I would call a struggling free throw percentage team like West Virginia, who has been like that for years and years and years, struggling at the charity stripe. They're only averaging between 65 and 69%. And in a game involving two decent rebounding teams that have rebounding differentials of +3 to -3, meaning they're not getting out-rebounded or they're not out-rebounding their opponents by very much at all. And it's been pretty even for both teams on the season. So that set of parameters has gone 122 wins, 66 losses over the last 25 college basketball seasons. That translates to 64% winners. More importantly, the recent record here over the last 3 seasons is 23-11, and that translates to 69% winning bets. And this season alone, it's 4-1, just like our show record, guys. That's 80%. So what I like in this matchup is the points per game. Oklahoma is allowing 70.8, but they have shown from time to time that they know how to play defense. And if the coaches of Oklahoma are not focused on defense tonight going into West Virginia's home court, then I'm going to be dead wrong on this under bet. There's no question in my mind. West Virginia is only scoring 68.7 points per game. That ranks 250th of the 358 Division I basketball programs in the country. And they play at a relatively slow pace. They rank 201st, taking only 57 shots per game. What's really amazing is the Sooners. We're so used to run and gun with those particular editions of the Sooners. It's always, first team to 85. This year is vastly different. They are 327th in pace nationally. So this game with these two teams that don't like to play fast and focus more on defense than anything else, I think this game's going to play easily under the total. And I wouldn't be surprised if the first team that hits 60 is going to be the winning team straight up. So guys, that is all we have today. So we have North Carolina, we have Illinois State as a home dog, and we are on the under in the West Virginia-Oklahoma game later tonight. So we thank you, Buster and Rocky, for your time as always. And for those that are watching out there, make sure you subscribe and nail that bell and never miss a show in any sport that we do. We cover the NBA and college hoops, and we're doing a little bit of NFL here down the stretch, but not much. And Major League Baseball, when you think about it, is just right around the corner. So have yourself a great Wednesday in the sports betting markets, and we'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Dime Betting Show. And until then, always remember, bet with your head, never over it, and may all the wins be yours.